All righty. Well, let's get a gander. Let's get a gander. My fingers are crossed. Do we have anything? All right. Let's stop and see where we are at. I see the SS Foxhole. That's got to be a good sign. Okay. Can you guys hear me okay? It appears you can hear me okay. That's good. That's good. I am not showing anything live over at Foxhole. That's worrying me. Let's look over at let's look over at Rumble and see if that is doing anything. Hmm. Why do why do days have to be like this? I had such high hopes. I had such high hopes for tonight's broadcast too. Let us let's check Twitch one at a time. We're just going to go through them. Okay, I am live. Well, you should I know there's no video, but you should at least see my logo, correct? Bad Bad Zoot. My logo is up there. No video. You got a black screen, is what you're saying. You have a black screen at D Live. What the hell? I'm having problems. What is that? Your phone? No, I don't have your phone. Yeah. So there's a black screen over at. Okay. Amethyst Cat says that she can. Okay, Spud says. All right. So we have video. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? That's what I'm asking. All right, 5 by 5 now, man. This. Take a deep breath. Have a slug of grog. Pretend that everything is just absolutely groovy. If only I knew where my cursor was. Okay. All right. It appears that we are. It looks like we're live over at. We're live at YouTube. We're live at D Live. We are live at Twitch. Twitch is still acting funny, but it's there. We are live over at Rumble. Come on, Foxhole. Come on, baby. You can do this. You can do this, Foxhole. I swear. 5 by 5, you have video now. Okay. You can see and hear me. Thank you. All right, people. Sorry. Here we are, 35 minutes into a broadcast that should have started at 7 o'clock, and I just now have video and audio. Freaking lovely. It is another gorgeous Wednesday night here in Southern Oregon. Fall is pouring in. I'm hoping that I'm not overmodulated, just sounding perfect. Please tell me that you hear tapping when I tap on this microphone. This is hot, correct? The microphone you guys were hearing on the last broadcast was the microphone out of my camera. I hate that microphone. I loathe that microphone. All right, it's actually everything is as it should be. Let's say some hellos. You know why? That puts me in the right place, in the right state of mind. My brother, dear due diligence, says, have a grog on me, donating the can. Thank you, my brother. Thank you kindly. Spazzo coming in saying, I can see you, Captain. Thank you, brother, for your support of this program and every program that you guys are hanging out at. I have the spinning wheel of death. That's what freaked me out at Pilled Foxhole. But if you say it's working, I'll take your word for it. I really will. Truly, truly, I will. It appears as though we are live everywhere. Live everywhere, and that is good news. That is good news. I'm going to say my hellos. Let's see. Let's start out at Pilled Foxhole. Why not? Rooster 55, first guy in the door. Due diligence is with us. Ah, yes, Fast Jack is in here. How you doing, little lady? Good to see your smiling face always. Always. Prayer Warrior Girl in the house. What's going on, little lady? How are you? Nice to have you aboard. LT is in the house, riding in on his motorcycle. Sigurd is with us. Good to see you. Spazzo Yeti. Man, it is wonderful to see all of those smiling faces. Let's go over to D Live, our current champions, and see who is hanging out there. Bad Zoot, TL Spud, Jayla 17, Amethyst Cat, right, Lynn Winters. It's actually everything is as it should be. Why is? Let's say some hellos. Oh, I see the problem. Foxhole finally came along for the ride. They finally did. Turn it up. Turn it up, he says. Are you talking about my microphone? You want me to turn up? I can turn it up. I can turn it up. Oh, I might be looking at old chats. Okay. All I really need to do is check my VU meters over here, and as long as I am not blowing them out of the top, which it doesn't appear that I am, I should be okay. I should be okay. All right. Son of a gun. Who else we got hanging out here? Artist 61. Steph, nice to see you hanging out this evening. Welcome aboard the very, very tardy mystery ship. Goddess of the Divine is hanging out over at Twitch. We've got sailors hanging out at YouTube. Let's see. We got Gray Bear. We got Dragon Sage. Gloria Paddock. Andy Social says he says we're not live on Rumble. And says it is buffering. You have the spinning wheel of death. I have the spinning wheel of death. There's something going on around here, folks. I'm not sure what it is. Let me see what I can do to increase the quality of this broadcast. I'm taking a chance. I'm going to find a different transponder. Fingers crossed. We are connecting. Go, baby, go. Come on. Pedaling as fast as it can. Oh, boy. All right. We're just going to keep our fingers crossed and pray. We're going to pray. Spaz says everything is good here. Hey, that's all I need to know. Welcome aboard the mystery ship, people. Tonight, I have a topic that is quite unusual. Now, I understand. I realize. I think it is the last Wednesday of the month. And normally on the last Wednesday of the month, your brother Zoe hosts a challenge, a platform challenge between all of the platforms. I have a proper quiz, and the sailors answer to the best of their ability. And tonight we're not doing that. I will hope to do that next Wednesday. As it turns out, I just had so many things going on today. I did not get the opportunity to find a proper challenge to give you people. So we just got to keep our fingers crossed and go that way. All right, Rumble is out of the picture, so I'm just going to cross them off the list. I don't need to see them. I don't even want to think about them right now. Let's just go forward with what is working. Pilled wins. Spaz, I like your attitude. I like the way you think. All right. I am in a wonderful mood, despite the fact that I've got lousy broadband and I had to do a restart on my computer. My microphone wasn't working. All different kinds of problems were popping up. We're still going to go ahead with this broadcast, and it's going to be a doozy. It's going to be fun. It'll be interesting. I think you will, at the very least, you will raise an eyebrow. I hope, well, let's not let's not get too crazy. Let's not get too crazy.
Why do we sail upon?
I'm hoping that you can hear I'm hoping that you can hear the audio on this break. We're going to be back on the other side of this break. This is your chance to take the dog out to get your grog filled up. Are you ready? We'll be back right immediately following this break, people.
Why do we sail upon the mystery ship? Because we never know where we'll go next.
And this, folks, is where I like to take a second just to thank the beautiful people who have decided to come and hang out with me tonight. May God bless every tiny little hair on your head. May it grow to very, very long lengths as far as I'm concerned. No, really, the people who support this program, you mean the world to me, and you support me in so many, many ways. Thank you for the lemons. Thank you for the gold pills. Thank you for the buy me a coffees and the PayPals and the whatever's all the ways that you do it. But more importantly, seriously, the greatest help you could ever be to this program would be to tell someone about it because that's how this little teeny tiny show grows, and it is growing. It is every single time I click on here, I'm amazed. I see another three, another five, another this, another that. And when you go from channel to channel to channel and you add that all up, well, that's like 20 people a clip every week. Now I realize not every last person tunes in every week. That's fine. But it does mean that at some point they subbed to this program. And that, people, means the world to me. And that means you are helping me by sharing this in whatever way you see fit on your Facebook page, on your Gab, on your Getter, on your whatever. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. You are indeed my friends. You might wonder why I play that break right at the beginning of the show. I'm going to let my hair down and confide in you. Okay. November 20th. Yes, this coming November 20th will be the third anniversary of the beginning of the mystery ship. I started the show November 20th of 2020. So we're coming up on 3 years. I'm not quite as hung up on the years as I am on the shows. We are currently on program number 410. When we get to 500, I'm going to have a celebration. I'm going to go back into the coffers and dig up some videos of days gone by. I'm going to have, like I did for the 100th broadcast, I will have some special mugs made to give away that night. All kinds of prizes. It's basically going to be a night of Zoe giving away the store. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to order up all kinds of everything, and all night long on the 500th broadcast, I'm just going to give stuff away all night because you people make me feel so groovy, so freaking groovy. How's my mic? Am I hot? Am I good? Am I just right in there? Am I right where I should be? All right. Tonight we're going to talk about economics. This might surprise you, but your brother Zoe keeps a keen eye on the economy and where we're going, mostly for selfish reasons. Mostly for selfish reasons. I work in construction. And I'll tell you something, construction kind of dictates how the rest of the world goes. Because if the economy is booming and we're doing well, then people are expanding, they are starting new businesses, they are looking for new places to rent. Perhaps they've outgrown their old building and they want to build a new lavish thing. I can tell you at the moment that my not small but medium sized construction company, we have work solid work for the next year and a half. I mean, contracts on the books, handshake deals, all of that. Uh, nonetheless, people, I still have cause for concern. We are in uncharted territory in this land of ours that we all love. And, you know, recessions and, God forbid, the word depression are things that we just don't need at the moment. But the pot has been boiling for quite some time. I don't know how many of you have noticed. I don't know what it is like where you live, but in the very short period of time since I left on my motorcycle trip in late July, gas right here in Oregon has gone up basically almost $1. It's about up 80 cents from when I left. That's pretty ridiculous. Yeah, in fact, it's freaking preposterous. Inflation is a very unique thing. The very definition of inflation is that the people have more money to spend than there are goods and services to spend it on. That is the bottom line. It is a weird and vicious cycle. I'm going to use an example to describe inflation to us and how it can cripple an economy and a country. And I'm going to use one of my favorite stores as an example. Okay? I've heard inflation described in many, many different ways, like You have a beautiful bowl of soup, delicious soup, thick, rich broth, and it's just so tasty. It doesn't need salt, doesn't need pepper, it doesn't need anything. It's perfect. But you got more and more and more mouths to feed, so you just keep adding water and adding water. Or it's the equivalent of adding dollars and adding dollars. And pretty soon the soup is weak. Pretty soon it's not as delicious as it once was. Pretty soon, in order to make it go all the way around, you got to dilute the living daylights out of that. And therefore, you get a pretty lousy tasting soup. It's exactly the same way with money. So if inflation is the existence of more money than there is goods and services to spend them on, what do retailers do to solve this problem? It's actually very simple. They raise their prices because, let's say, and I'm going to use this as an example. When I first moved to Oregon, I was a city slicker. I've grown up in the city almost my entire life. I grew up basically in Los Angeles. Yes, I was born in Jersey, and yeah, I lived there for a number of years, but I would say I grew up in Southern California, in the thriving metropolis that is Los Angeles. I lived in the San Fernando Valley in a nice little town called Northridge, California. It's where I grew up. In 1989, at 30 years old, I decided to load up the truck and move to Beverly. I loaded up my 1951 Chevrolet pickup, 5-window, and rented a U-Haul trailer. And I moved everything that I owned and everything that my girlfriend owns, belongings in it, up here to Oregon. I eventually married the woman, and that's a story we've told 100 times, so I'm not going to omit that from tonight's broadcast. But when I got to Oregon, I was amazed at the little town next to us. Okay, of course, I lived in a township. It's not even a town. It was a teeny tiny little place called Rogue River. Rogue River, which at the time had a population of 2,000 people. But just to the north of us was a town called Grants Pass, Oregon. And I think at the time, Grants Pass had about 35 or 40,000 people living there. This was many, many years ago. Okay, 33, 34 years ago. Yeah. There was a store in Grants Pass, and I was absolutely amazed by this store. Amazed by it. It's called Fred Meyer. Now, those of you in the Pacific Northwest are probably familiar with Fred Meyer. I'm sure that people like Sleeping Stars and, of course, T.L. Spud. I'm sure you are aware of Fred Meyer. I would have to only guess that my buddy Due Diligence knows of Fred Meyer. Basically, Fred Meyer it's like a Kmart and a grocery store. It is a lumber yard. It is a pharmacy. What else is it? There's more. It's about 10 stores rolled up into one place. I was absolutely astounded when I first walked into this place called Fred Meyer back in 1989, because we could buy all of our family food there for the week, right? Go shopping in the grocery part of the store. I could go over in the far end of the store into the tool department and buy brand new skill saws or cordless drills. Right outside was a lumber department, and they had all the lumber that you could ever want to buy out there. There was a garden department. Like I said, there was a full blown pharmacy, uh, clothing. I mean, top of the line shoes and clothing. Basically, if it was the only store in the town, you could survive there because they sold everything you need to live there. Okay, so we're going to use Fred Meyer as my example. Okay, let's say, let's say all of us on these 5 platforms, all of us. Well, we're not on Rumble tonight, but we're everywhere else. Let's say the other five. Let's say we've got YouTube Lane and D Live Terrace, and we've got Foxhole Place, and we've got we got 4 major streets, Twitch Avenue. All 4 of those major streets meet in the middle. They form a big X, and right in the middle of that X was Fred Meyer. Let's say that was our own little world, people. Okay, and right in the middle of it was this Fred Meyer store. Okay. So all of us are just trying to survive, right? We work for a living. We take our hard-earned cash and we would go to the one store, Fred Meyer, and we would buy whatever the hell it is we need, okay? From bicycles to lawnmowers to food, to steaks to winter jackets. They have it all. This store sells everything you need. One day, an entity known as the Federal Reserve comes along and says, well, this little economy in this tiny little town of yours is doing rather prosperously. We want to ensure that it keeps going. We're going to lower interest rates. We're going to lower interest rates. You guys need more money. We want to see you prosper. We want to see this economy blossom. So we're going to drop the interest rates. That way you'll be more inclined to go out and purchase new cars, new dinette sets, whatever it is that you need. If you can get a good loan for a nice cheap interest rate, you will spend your money. So everybody agrees and everybody goes in and they go, all of a sudden this money starts pouring in. Wow. Yeah, I got a loan for at 2%, and people start buying shit. Okay. Pretty soon, old Fred Meyer realizes, oh my God, those $100 bicycles, I can't keep them on the shelf. And all the meats in the meat department, man, I'm having a hard time with the supply chain. They can't keep up. The local butchers aren't filling my reserves. I got to do something about this. So they raise rates. They raise prices. They raise prices. That $100 bicycle is all of a sudden $200. And that $5 steak is now $10 for a steak. And people start saying, wait a minute here. I know I just signed up for that loan and I bought myself a new Cadillac and this and that, but man, I can't afford to fork out $200 for a bicycle for my kid. I could afford it when it was $100. That, my friends, that is inflation. When all of the vendors at once decide, shit, our supply chain's not keeping up. We can't keep stuff on the stores. We're going to raise prices. That'll keep the vermin out. And only the rich, only the people who are smart and save their money, those will be the ones who can buy our stuff. Now it works for a little while. Okay? It settles down. Okay? The supply chain kind of picks up again because people aren't buying as much as they were when money was all over the place. And then the Fed sticks its nose in the door and says, well, hey, man, you guys are starting to falter. Hey, we need to build this thing back up. And they do it again. And they either lower interest rates or they've got a number of they have a number of moves in their little bag of tricks. And supposedly, they keep everything in check. They know when to raise rates. They know when to lower rates. But when there's lots of money and there's lots of goods, okay, that is the sign of an economy growing. And when an economy is growing, the guy who owns Fred Meyer, if he's able to move all the merchandise at a nice, steady, even pace, he'll say to himself, "Well, we got an opportunity here. We should expand. I think I'm going to buy that lot across the street. Interest rates are low. I'm going to build another building, and I'm not going to be dependent upon the supply chain. I'm going to make my own bicycles." And he builds a building, he hires people, and next thing you know, the supply is kicking ass. Everything's freaking groovy. And then the money runs out. The money runs out. All of a sudden, it's not the little guy who's overextended. Now the big guys are overextended. They've screwed themselves. They gambled on an economy that was about to supposedly going to explode. And now they've got to start laying people off. They've got to close the doors to that new factory that they just built because it's not going their way. And that's when the government comes in and starts giving away. Oh, we've got to pump this economy up. I know. We'll do quantitative easing. If you guys remember that after the 07-08 debacle, the Fed introduced quantitative easing, and I know it was 3, it might have been 4 different times they pumped absolute shitloads of money into the economy. They printed, I can't remember exactly how many billions that they printed, but they flooded the market with dollar bills, flooded it. This vicious cycle, it just simply repeats and repeat. What happened there? What's going on around here? Oh, I see what happened. I bumped the wrong thing. All of a sudden, my YouTube channel went to my logo. What the hell's going on here? All right. So, ever since we came off of the gold standard in the 70s, between the Fed screwing with us and, shall we just politely say, the guys up above them with the marionette strings who are, the 13 rich families that kind of run the world. Folks, they are hell-bent. They are hell-bent on making just 2 classes of people. And that is the uber rich and the poor. They are at this point, they are well on their way to destroying the middle class. Right now, I think I just looked this up prior to the show. Damn it, what's the percentage? It was something ridiculous, like 55 per. Yeah, I think that's the number. 55% of families, at least once a month, don't have the money to pay their bills with their income. So they make up the difference by putting it on their credit cards. 55% of families are finding some point of the month where they have to put critical payments on their credit cards just to get by. That is a dead-end street. With the quantitative easing that was done shortly after the '07-'08 recession. Along came, just a decade later, good old COVID, right? They tried to shut down the economy again, and things were floundering. I think probably a fair amount of you will remember that 2020, the right at the changing of the guard, 2020 was kind of a tough year for a lot of people in a number of different ways. And what did old Joe decide to do? He decided to pump some money into the economy, but this time they didn't do it by way of quantitative easing. They didn't give the banks the money. This time they gave the money to the people, okay? And if you made under X amount of dollars a year, you qualified for this free Biden money. And I'll be reading the chat. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they gave out like $1,600 to each and every American. And then they came along like 8 months later and they did it again. Now, the reason I don't know what the number is because I make too much. I never got a penny. I know Mrs. Zoe got it. I know my kids got it. I know that my brother got it, but not old Zoe. I never got a penny of that money. Not a freaking penny. $1,400? Is that what it was? $1,400. But it was free money, Jayla, was it not? It was free money. Free money. And that, once again, started the vicious cycle over once again. Once again, there's more money out there than there are goods and services to go buy. So what does the store owner do when he's running out of stuff to sell? He's running out of those $100 bicycles. He makes them a $200 bicycle. Or if he had already raised it to $200, he makes it a $400 bicycle. And that's where we are at, people. That is where we are freaking at. But we got a number of other things. We are really, truly, we are in uncharted waters right now. We are on the verge of perhaps a world war. We have got hardly anyone working. Damn it, I wanted to look this up. I wanted to look up the percentage of Americans who are working right now, but I don't know what it's like where you live, but every single place that I see around here in Southern Oregon, help wanted, help wanted, help wanted. I see it at gas stations. I see it at food stores. I see it at the cellular phone stores. Help wanted everywhere. Come join our team. I see it at freaking the fast food joints. Everybody is hiring, but nobody wants to work. There are a great many people staying at home because they can. Because they can. Normally, when a country's GDP takes a shit, the country goes into what's called a recession. Okay, if you have, I think the deciding factor is 2 months. I think it's 2 months. After a 2-month period, they will decide that you are in a recession. Okay, if the shit has hit the fan and everything is going downhill, they'll we're in a mild recession. We're in a just a mild recession. We'll pop out of it. Bidenomics will save our ass. Don't you worry. Folks, you better be worried. Banks right now Banks are not as inclined to lend, not as inclined to lend as they were just a year ago. I was just reading that some of our biggest private banks, I'm talking Wells Fargo, uh, they're, you know, the ones that you and I bank with, they are having to go to the Treasury and say, give us some money. We don't have any money to give out to people. People are coming and asking for money, and our vaults are empty. They need paper dollars. There is a shortage of paper dollars. How could there be a shortage of paper dollars? They have been flooding the freaking market, flooding the market. They're printing dollar bills like toilet paper. These are not good signs, okay? I was reading about Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe, boy, the amount of the amount of exchange a few years back for the Zimbabwe currency versus the United States dollar was something absolutely preposterous, like 250,000 of whatever Zimbabwe's dollars are to one US dollar, and it got worse and it got worse. They are still trying to battle their way back. The crazy thing, the crazy thing about the dollar is ever since we came off of the gold standard, the only thing, the only thing that says that the United States dollar has any value at all is in if you ask your economics teacher, he'll say, "Oh, it's public confidence. Public confidence in the dollar is what keeps it afloat." But the truth is, it is it is our might, okay? It is the fact that if another country doesn't want to believe that the US dollar is still the world's reserve currency, we'll just visit them with our airplanes and drop a little democracy on them. That's what makes the dollar valuable. But I'm sure you guys have anyone who has studied history, I know a great many of you study history. All of the past great empires, all of them, they expanded to the point where after a while they just couldn't keep it up. They just they couldn't keep it up. Folks, I don't know if you have looked at a map at all of the United States camps around the world. But folks, we are spread thin. We are spread thinner than the thinnest lunch meat you've ever seen shaved. We are walking on eggshells right now. Many no, not the television economists, okay? Not the ones that you're going to see on the Sunday morning programs, all right? I'm talking about the nitty gritty guys, the guys you can find in the far corners of the internet, the guys who the guys who really know what the hell is going on. All of them, all of them are predicting that the dollar is very close to taking a crap, okay? And if, folks, if that day comes, I'm sure all of you remember the German marks of the 30s when after World War One, when Germany couldn't pay back all their debts from the war. It took a wheelbarrow. It took a wheelbarrow of German marks to buy a loaf of bread. People were taking them and burning them in their fireplace to stay warm because they were worthless. They were worthless. Could you imagine that happening here in the United States? Can you imagine, you know, putting putting dollar bills on your wall like like wallpaper because dollars are worthless? Folks, we are teetering. We are teetering right freaking there. I I really I implore all of you. I know we've talked on this show many times about being prepared and this and that, but I'm not I'm not particularly concerned about those of you who live in the country or in the outskirts of the suburbs. Something tells me that somehow, some way, you'd find the way to get along. But those who live inside of large cities, I hope you have some friends out in the country. I mean, if it all went down tomorrow, if I woke up in the morning and my ATM card didn't work anymore, I know that there's enough deer running around my yard, even a bear or two occasionally. We'll eat, okay? We will freaking eat. We'll find all the dead logs in town and chop those up for firewood to get through the winter. I know that much. But you can't do that kind of thing in the city. My biggest concern is for people who live in it. My brother and my sister both live in Los Angeles. Man, it it really gets to me sometimes when I consider the possibilities. We've 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 climbed mountains and we've coasted through valleys. I mean, it's an interesting thing. Recessions recessions are actually a necessary part of an economy. An economy. There's a lot of goods and services, right? Money's flowing, then money isn't flowing, and then money flows, and money is. It's an up and down. It's a bottom game, and what keeps this little up and down sine wave in check is supposed to be the Federal Reserve, right? They know when to raise rates, they know when to lower rates, they know when to reward savers, when to penalize savers. I don't know too many people right now who who are savers. Okay, when I was a kid, I mean, there were banks entitled home savings and loan. Savings and loan. I haven't heard the term savings and loan in so long. I think that people forgot how to save. Are there any savings and loans anymore? I don't think so. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look it up. Are there still any savings and loan banks out there? While they're not as common as they once were, there still are savings and loan associations. There's 600 of them in the U.S. Many failed during the financial crisis in the 1980s. Interest in them surged again in the following years. Well, interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'm not kidding you. When I was a kid, every other ad on the radio, when I was, I remember being a kid in New York, At Beneficial, doot, doot, you good for more. Beneficial Finance, savings and loan. I hope that everybody is well prepared. I'm not, you know that I'm not some kind of doomsday kind of guy. That's the last thing in the world that your brother Zoe wants to preach about. I just, I'm concerned for, I'm concerned for my friends. That's a damn good one, Spazzo. He says he only saves in silver and gold, and that is probably about the best move. That's the best move you could possibly make. A lot of people don't realize how the US banking system actually exists, where new money comes from. In in our in our debt-based system, okay? Dollars get printed when somebody says, I agree to go into debt. For instance, when I bought my brand new Harley for $25,000, I signed my name on the dotted line. That loan, that quote unquote instrument, then got sent on to the banks, who bundled it together with another bunch of securities, okay? It has my name on it that says, I promise to pay this amount. Then they send that in and they say, oh, okay, some guy named Zoso just signed his name to this for 25. Go ahead and print $25,000. Get it out into the system. That's where our green dollars come from. New green dollars. If every one of us paid off all of our houses, our cars, our televisions, whatever it is we've bought in the long term, if we paid them all off tomorrow to the point where we were all debt free, our dollars would vanish. They would disappear. There would be no folding money in your pocket. It's like photography. You have a positive and a negative. Dollars are negatives. when you sign your name away to buy something, that's a positive. It's crazy. It is crazy. It truly is. Oh, mammy, I've done it again. I've done it again. I fixed this. Did I tell you I fixed my problem? I fixed my problem here. Yes. There it is. There it is right there. All right, we're going to be back right after this break. Right after this little break. Run and go potty, whatever you got to do. We'll be right back.
Hello, Foxhole. How y'all doing, fam? Good to see you. Hanging out with Zoso, dude. You know who he is. You wouldn't be seeing this right now. So, cheers to you, my friends. Uncle Krusty says hello. Peace out.
Hi, this is Judy the Lady Pug, and you're watching Mystery Ship with Zoso Dude.
This is Tanette Booth, and you are watching The Mystery Ship with Zoso Dude.
This is Salty and Nuts, and you're watching Zoso Dude on The Mystery Ship.
This is a biblicist, and most likely you're going to hell, but not if you watch The Mystery Ship with Zoso Dude.
Right. This is Ryan, our Cloaked Unseen World, and you're watching The Mystery Ship with Zoso Dude.
Hey, this is Leonard with The Shit Show, and you're watching The Mystery Ship and Zozo Dude 77. Enjoy.
I don't know.
This is Sheree Maddox from LJ, Georgia, and you're on The Mystery Ship with Zoso Dude 77.
Hi, everybody. This is Vicki Holyfield, and you are watching Zozo Dude 77 on The Mystery Ship.
This is Friendly Gator from St. Petersburg, Florida, and you're on board The Mystery Ship with Zozo Dude 77.
Hi, it's Jolene, and we're watching The Mystery Ship with Zozo Dude.
This is Gloria Paddock. You're watching The Mystery Ship with Zozo Dude 77.
Hey guys, this is Bruce Q. Wayne, aka the Batman from Three Beermen, and you're watching The Mystery Ship with our good captain, Zozo Dude.
This is Andy Girl 13, and you're watching The Mystery Ship with Zozo Dude.
Hi, this is Susan Danielle, and you're watching The Mystery Ship with Zozo Dude 77.
This is your brother Belushi, and you're watching The Mystery Ship with Zozo Dude 77.
Hi, this is Carrie Lake from St. Pete, Florida, and you're watching Zozo Dude 77, The Mystery Ship.
You're hanging out on the Mystery Ship with our captain, the Zozo Dude.
Hey, it's M1911 Zoom, and you're watching The Mystery Ship with Zozo Dude.
I'm Neoma.
And I'm Neo.
And you're watching The Mystery Ship with Zozo Dude 77.
I'm EO2 Dave, and you're watching Zozo Dude 77 on The Mystery Ship.
This is Barefoot Patriotess from Tampa, Florida, and you're watching The Mystery Ship with Zozo Dude 77.
This is Rob, aka Syllabore, and you are watching Zozo Dude 77 on The Mystery Ship.
Welcome aboard The Mystery Ship, where we go one, we go all!
Ah, yes, the Mystery Ship. We're on the Mystery Ship, right? Seriously. I just wanted to point these things out tonight. I mean, you guys know me. You who know me, you who have met me, the people in those videos, the 32 people that I met going across country this year, you know that I am a happy-go-lucky idiot. That's what I am. My glass is forever half full. I am not a naysayer or a oh my God, Dr. Doom, everything's going to hell. Far from it. Far, far from it. I wake up each and every morning and I'm not kidding you. I get on my knees. I thank God for the breath in my lungs and the chance to interact with people, the gift that is life. Life is a gift. It truly is. This experience, I have the hardest time when people call it a realm, okay? But, I mean, I guess it is. You could consider it a realm. It just seems rude to call it a realm. It's not some kind of game. This existence is for a very special reason. And I really, God, my thinking has changed over the years so dramatically from, I can't even relate to the guy who I was in my 20s. I don't even, I mean, other than facially, and barely there anymore, I don't resemble that guy in any way. I was oblivious to what was going on around me. I was clueless. I was drinking the Kool-Aid that they pumped out. I believed my televisions like everybody else. I believed my newspapers. Now that I am just, the pendulum has swung 180 degrees the other way, I look back at that poor bastard and I think, what were you thinking? What were you you weren't thinking. I was thinking with the wrong head back in those days. Know what I mean? Anyway, I know that we are all we're all awake around these parts. I just want to encourage you to continue to assess things that are going on around you, okay? I am hopeful. I am hopeful that we are not going to see a world war again. I just don't see it happening. I think there's enough good people left in the world who can step up at the right time and make sure that it doesn't escalate to that point. We may see a false flag or two. That is entirely likely. And it could be, God, they could be devastating. I hope not. I hope not. I continue to carry on with my glass half full, have faith in the Lord above, and enjoy hanging out with my friends. It is what fills me. It is what fills my soul. Okay, you guys spending these precious couple of hours with you guys, a couple nights a week, a few nights a week, 4 days a week, is the best part of my existence right now. If you'd have told me, if you'd have told me when I was younger that when I was in my 50s and 60s, I'd be sitting in the corner of my garage talking to people all over the place, I never would have believed you. I'm going to get out of here a little early. I wish all of you peace and love. Be prepared. Look after those who can't look after things as well themselves. Please continue to pray for our people who are really in need. I got a wonderful message from our friend Matty F&B. He missed the broadcast on Sunday, but he went back and watched it, and he sent me a very wonderful note saying, "Thank you, man. It means the world that you guys are praying for him and his dad. You guys are the best. You guys are the best." I'll have next Wednesday night. Next Wednesday night, I will have our regular contest. You know, I like to pit channel versus channel versus channel. You know, YouTube versus DLive versus Pilled Foxhole versus Twitch versus Rumble. It's a trivia test. It's a trivia quiz, and I just love the way you guys do it because there's honesty. There's honesty in them our hearts. It tickles me pink to do that. It really does. I've had one heck of a day, though. I'm spent. I'm going to take a look at this treasure chest, especially after bungling it up last time. After bungling up the treasure chest last week, I am loading that sucker up. Just like that. There it is. I just put a whole bunch of lemons in that treasure chest, and I am now releasing it to you wonderful folks. Go and win something in 24 seconds. You guys over here at Pilled Foxhole, thank you for hanging out with me tonight. Thank you for your wonderful donations tonight. Due Diligence, Spazzo Yeti, Rooster, Spazzo Yeti, Goobage. Love you guys. I love you guys. Here comes your scratching. Go scratch that itch over there. For all it's worth. Ooh, go get it, baby. Here it comes. It's coming at you. All right, let's see who got the rewards over here at DLive. It looks like Spudley is on top with 182. Jayla, 17, right there, 105. Val Kimber in the house. Good to see you, Val. Lynn Winters and Sheeple Beware. Sheeple gets on the list. I like that. I like that a lot. All right, you guys. Okay, there they go. They're winning. They're starting to win. They're starting to scratch that itch for all it's worth. All right, I even got a pill tonight. That's freaking groovy. That is freaking groovy. Thank you all for dropping by the Mystery Ship. I wish you a wonderful rest of your week. I heard from the Texan. Apparently, his interview went very, very well. I haven't heard anything more, but my fingers are crossed. My fingers are crossed that this works out for him. Please keep the Texan in your prayers. And I don't know if we'll be. I don't know if he and I are doing a show together on Friday or not yet. Something tells me we are. It might be our last one for a while. That is, if he gets the job. Keep your fingers crossed for the Texan, would you? All right, people. I freaking love each and every one of you. Have a great rest of your week. We'll talk soon. Don't forget about my Saturday rock show. My Saturday rock show. I hope to see you there exclusively on Pilled Foxhole and on D Live. Those two places, the only two places you can find it with the groovy people. Take care, my friends. We will see you around the bend.